You gotta say the truth to your therapist.
Yes, your therapist isn't going to judge you. I mean, they are, but not to your face, and it's fine. Everybody judges.
Everybody is judging. Yeah, it's fine. But like, then just go and find your therapist's Instagram and be like, I can't even believe I'm taking advice from this person.
Judge that bitch.
Welcome to Guys We
Hey, fuckers, how you doing? Happy New Year. You wear your seatbelt, drink enough water? Welcome to another episode of Guys We Fcked.
It's the Anti-Slut Shaming Podcast. I'm Corinne Fisher.
I'm Krystyna Hutchinson.
Make sure to come to our shows, guys. We have two big ones coming up. Guys We Fcked shows. New York City, February 1st. We're at the MasterCard Midnight Theater for our continued Guys We Fcked, the experience residency that has been so fun.
So fun.
And then Los Angeles, our grand return to the Comedy Store in the main room is on February 14th. That's right. That is Valentine's Day. It's an 8 p.m. show. The ticket link is officially up. So make sure to get those. That's one show only. We haven't done that in so long. So you're going to want to get tickets to that. Bring a date, bring a group of friends, do whatever you want. We'll just see you at the show.
Very excited for that.
And if you want to send us an email, it's sorryaboutlastnightshow@gmail.com. This subject line says, how do you get past the ick? You don't. You move on.
Yeah, you get another boyfriend.
You get a new boyfriend. Yes, long-time Luminary listener here for more advice about things I don't want to admit to my therapist yet. I'll just get right into it. Oh man, I'll step in though and say I wish you would though. Otherwise, you're wasting your money and your time. You gotta say the truth to your therapist.
Yes, your therapist isn't going to judge you. I mean, they are, but not to your face, and it's fine. Everybody judges.
Everybody is judging. Yeah, it's fine. But like, then just go and find your therapist's Instagram and be like, I can't even believe I'm taking advice from this person.
Judge that bitch.
A little background. I'm 28 and have a 26-year-old boyfriend whom I live with. We've known each other for over 8 years and always had a strong connection and attraction to each other. But we finally got together about 3 years ago now. That age gap has leveled out. We're both busy with work and school. I'm a graduate. Okay, I wouldn't call 28 and 26 an age gap, but okay.
For women, maybe for her.
That's not really an age gap.
Yeah, it's the same age. We're both busy with work and school. I'm a graduate student and he does stem cell research, which is great for our relationship because we have lots of other things to focus on other than each other. I've always been very independent as I was forced to take care of myself and my younger siblings from a young age due to my parents having multiple jobs and have spent all of my early 20s single. Because of this, I can get easily smothered. My partner, on the other hand, is the baby of his family and has jumped from relationship to relationship. It's just because he's a man. It has nothing to do with his position in the family.
That's true.
With as little as 2 weeks in between, which was the main reason I didn't want to date him when we first met. He had a long-term girlfriend in high school, which quickly changed to his college girlfriend, whom he dated for 5 years.
Wow.
And now he's been with me for 3.
He really wants a cheerleader.
Yeah, he originally claimed that there was about a year in between me and his college girlfriend, only for me to find out that they were still hooking up only 3 months before we started to rekindle things. Well, I guess he was saying like we weren't official, we were just hooking up, which,
in man terms, that means they weren't dating.
So technically, yeah.
Yeah, my fingers were in her pussy, sure.
Yeah.
But was she my girlfriend? Ugh,
exactly. No. I've always been a bit suspicious of this, but I can't blame him for having a drawn-out breakup since we've all been there, and I have no way of knowing if they were still hooking up to try to get back together. I don't think so.
Nah.
If they were just fucking because it was familiar or some combination of both. So here's my main issue, which is that having a boyfriend can be so exhausting and it's giving me the ick. Correct.
Just having a boyfriend is giving you the ick.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's not the way he ate a sandwich or how he wears his pants.
I've really never related to an email more. When we're not in our normal routine, having a boyfriend gives Mike the ick.
Not just having a girlfriend, but yes.
Yeah, no, it's like,
it's a lot of work.
It is so much maintenance, and then you go, I just don't know that the payoff is there.
Yeah.
I just don't, it depends on your personality.
Yeah.
When we're not in our normal routines with school and work, he wants to spend every waking moment together.
That's a problem.
This week he decided to work from home a couple days and take the other days off so he could spend time with me now that I'm on break from school. Tell me you don't like that.
Yeah.
Let me be clear and say that I did not ask him to do this, nor did he ask me if I wanted this. Because it's for him, not for you. He's doing it under the guise of it being a gift to you, but it's a gift to him, which is all gifts that men have ever given.
Hey, honey, I got you this lingerie.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Merry
basically,
Christmas.
It's Krystyna's absolutely right. It used to be like a running bit on sitcoms, but like it was actually very high level societal commentary, but they couldn't just like be so forward about it.
Right.
So they're like, oh, this is a funny joke. When Tim Allen gets Jill a chainsaw, we're all for Valentine's Day, we're all laughing, but really, that's not funny. It's actually really not funny.
I got you all the cooking supplies you need, honey. Stay in that kitchen for me.
Yeah. I was even looking forward to having a good chunk of time per day while he was at work to spend with myself and enjoy a quiet apartment before we go on a 7-day vacation together.
Oh my God, that sounds, I feel suffocated for you. Oh God.
The week before vacation, I always try to see my boyfriend like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Totally.
I text him, I say, do you have your passport ready? And that's about it. I went from busting my ass on finals to being around him 24/7 for the last 4 days.
That's rough.
I wanted to leave, but I was sick from the COVID booster and drained from school. We
still taking COVID boosters?
No, I don't think so. I wish I could say that he wanted the time off from work to maybe get a little R&R and quiet time to himself.
No.
But he's woken up every morning this week by asking me, what are your plans for the day? Oh, you have a golden retriever boyfriend. Okay. Yeah. Which I know is his way of trying to tailor his day to fit mine. There's just a certain way he asks to hang out that makes me viscerally aware that no amount of time we spend together will ever be enough for him.
Oh, that's your gut telling you what's up.
Not enough for him. Yeah. Sometimes I'll be sitting on the couch alone with 2 headphones, and when I hear, want to find a show to watch, like I'm not already doing something that explicitly doesn't involve him. You got to go in a room with a door.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't even know people like him existed before we got together.
Yeah, this is a little much.
He really can spend a full 8 hours straight with me and wake up wanting more.
Ugh.
As much as I've wished at times that I could match his energy, it's just not in the cards for me. My free days before getting into this relationship were my time to recenter myself and decompress from the week.
Gotta recalibrate, baby.
Now, all of my free time has somehow become our free time, and I often wonder if my boyfriend has any idea how to be alone. No, he doesn't. And that's a real big problem. I've brought this up to him multiple times in many different ways, but have you ever brought it up to him in a clear, direct way? Because it seems like you've probably done it in passive ways. Directly,
maybe you should go see your mom.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't do that. You have to be like, I need to be alone for my own sanity and inner peace. And for that to happen, I need to be the only one in our home. So you need to figure something else out. And
you can also have like a serious conversation about it concerns me based on your relationship history that perhaps you don't need to know how to be alone and never mind a breakup. What if you fucking die or something? Are you just going to keep bouncing from partner to partner for the rest of your life and ignoring the fact that you don't know how to be with yourself? That's no way to live. And say that's not a partner that I want to be with long term. Break it down. Sometimes involving me breaking down in tears because I get overwhelmed at how exhausted I am when I finish a long stint at work or a tough exam, just to be immediately met with the question, what should we do tonight?
That sounds like hell, girl.
Yeah.
That sounds like hell.
The only reason I'm able to write you guys today is because I told him I wanted a me day, to which I could hear the disappointment in his response.
Oh my God.
He's a brat. Of course, then the avoidant attachment in me causes me to pull away more, and the anxious attachment in him makes him cling on even harder. Now, specifically for my questions, is there anything salvageable here, or am I killing myself trying to make this work? Should I even try bringing this up to him again? Do I only like my boyfriend when he's busy? I've had that. Any advice from you 3 would be greatly appreciated, as I'm about to spend 7 days with him and his family.
Oh, no.
Oh, his family's there too?
Oh, no. Well, maybe he'll hang out with his family and you could get away and go for a walk.
Oof, these people who go on vacation with their the families. Well, actually, you just did it. But it was
different.
Great.
But I spent
siblings,
alone
not
time.
Parents.
I went for runs and walks by myself. And they're fantastic people that are not annoying in any way. And I still had to be alone.
Yeah.
For hours, at least a couple of the days.
I could spend time with a boyfriend's siblings. It's the parents that's the problem. Because you feel you just always feel like a child around parents, even whether they're yours or not. Which I'm hoping doesn't create an even bigger wedge between us, the vacation.
It will.
He conveniently just texted me a couple photos of us, so I'll get ahead and attach it to this email.
He's cute.
Glasses twins.
You're both super cute.
I love a glasses couple.
Oh my God. You guys are adorable. I mean, in the photos, but the dynamic you're describing sounds awful, and it's going to chip away at your sanity, and you're going to resent him. you're going to absolutely resent him.
She already does. Yeah.
I mean, exactly what Corinne said earlier of sitting down and being like, I'm concerned about your inability to spend time by yourself.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? When was the last time you spent like a whole day alone? How did it go for you? I'm the kind of person that if I don't get multiple days a week where I have at least half the day to myself, the relationship is going to crumble.
Yeah. And it's not personal. It's just like, it's like who you are and who he is.
Yeah.
Also, I'm actually... How did you make it through the past 3 years? Has he gotten more clingy? Like, because I don't know how you got it through 3 years if this is your the dynamic.
Or maybe it's just been building up and you're super patient.
Yeah, because you're talking about the age gap. This is not the age gap. This is inherently who you both are. This has nothing to do with the age. This is who he is and who you are.
Even if you were like him, that's still unhealthy and you're still going to be resentful. Like you just need time apart. It's so vital.
Yeah.
Because it makes you miss the person. You have no opportunity to miss him because he's never away.
Yeah, and he's you know, he's so young to have been in all these consecutive long-term relationships.
Yeah, he totally has golden retriever energy.
Yeah.
He just follows you around. But even a golden retriever doesn't talk, so it's like not as annoying when a golden retriever follows you around. Yeah. And even when they do, like sometimes I'll go from room to room and Kevin will follow me and I'm like, dude, you gotta not do that.
Yeah.
So you gotta nip this in the bud right away when you get back from that vacation, which I'm assuming is now, since I'm sure that was like a Christmas related thing.
Right. Yeah. You have to have a serious talk about this for sure. And I also am curious, like, so he loves this, you know, commitment so much. I'm also curious, do you know the reasons why he broke up with his previous girlfriends? I think that's information that could be helpful. You know, I'm assuming
they've had enough.
Yeah, I'm assuming they initiated it just because of that's, you know, usually it's the feminine energy who initiates it. Although you have a bit of a masculine energy, so it's possible that he could be the feminine energy and you're the masculine energy, in which case he would be the one initiating breakups. I can't tell. It's hard from an email, but you have an assertive energy.
There's been so many times over the years where I've cried to my boyfriends. I'm like, you just need to get away from me for like a while and just don't talk to me. I'm not even mad at you. I just don't want your energy in the room. And it has nothing to do with you. Oh my God. And then when I'm alone, dude, being alone, being the only one in your home, it's blissful. It's heaven. It's the best gift you could ever give to yourself is alone time. Truly.
I don't know how so many people are sharing apartments.
I don't either. My lease is up soon.
Yeah, and you're about to do it.
And we were just having the conversation today, and I was like, I don't want to give this up because I need my own space. And he's like, I totally get that. My apartment's small. And I'm like,
so you're not going to do it?
No, I'm gonna. But like, we want to find a second place, kind of, you know. We always want to have two places, one in the woods and one of his or both of ours, you know, apartments in the city. And the lease is coming up too soon. Like I just don't have time to get a place, but I'm extending it for a couple months because I need it. Like I'm not seeing him tonight because he's working and I'm like, I'm so excited. And I love that guy. Like he's one of the best boyfriend I've ever had, but like, oh my God, my alone time. You just walk around naked, you masturbate, you play piano, you get your shit done. So much stuff
you just don't fucking hear another person breathing.
Yeah,
that's the best part.
That's a big part of it.
Honestly, it's the best part because even when they're in the other room, you know they're there. It's not the same.
Yeah, there's like, I mean, like I've had boyfriends who I can be with for many days and like they don't bother me, but it's not common.
No, and even still, you need your time to yourself. So you got to have that conversation, baby girl. And then come see us live after you've seen us in New York City on February 1st at the Midnight Theater, and then Valentine's Day, February 14th. Before all these. January 20th, ticket links are now up. There is a very limited amount of tickets to the very exciting premiere show of my new show. It's a podcast. It's a show. It's going to live on YouTube called Wait What? It's about aliens, the afterlife, psychic phenomena, psychedelic drugs, and all the things that make you question your reality. And I'm so excited for the show. January 20th, it's a Saturday. It's going to be at MCM Production Studios in New York City. And we're going to have very special guest, John Ronson, joining us to talk about psychic phenomena. He has some very cool stories that he's excited to share. And then we're opening up the microphone at the end of the show for anybody in the audience that has experiences with these psychic phenomena, including aliens. If you're living in Florida and you were at that mall in Miami on January 1st, holler at your girl because I can't figure out what the fuck is happening with that. Whether it's a conspiracy or not, it's very confusing. And I know with the alien stuff, the government and the police very quickly try to make you think you're crazy or that it was somebody else's fault. So buy tickets to that show. And then also I'm headlining Bananas Comedy Club in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, February 9th and 10th with John Campanelli featuring. And then on March 22nd, Springfield, Missouri, I'm headlining the Blue Room. And as always, if you would like, I host group therapy over Zoom 4 times a month on my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Krystyna Hutchinson. All the audio is uploaded to the Patreon the next day. And we have some really great conversations. There was a girl there who had a breakthrough recently. And it was really exciting because I've been following her story for about a year now. And it's a beautiful space. And it makes me love humanity more after I end each Zoom. And I got to say, I need more of that because the world is tough. The world is tough. So we'll see you there.
All right. And then for me, you can see me on my podcast Without a Country every week that comes out Wednesday nights on YouTube and everywhere you listen to podcasts. We are headed right into, election season before you know it. So there's so much to cover on that show. We've had some great interviews in the past year. We were talking about banning books in prison. We're talking about human zoos. I mean, there's not no stone left unturned.
What's a human zoo?
Exactly what it sounds like.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's not kinky or sexy?
No, it's not.
Damn,
it's extremely
kind of
racist.
sounds sexy.
It's extremely racist.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. I got to tune in.
So all those topics and more, if you are interested in the news or if you just want to be more interesting at a party, which I got to be honest, a lot of you could really use. And I would love to just hear people. I know this is literally a show about relationships, but there has to be more to talk about than the opposite sex or the same sex, depending on who you date. And that is my goal, to put you out into the world with some, more. It's long form animal facts, basically. And then Washington, D.C., I am playing DC Comedy Loft February 29th through March 2nd. You guys have known about that one for a while. I know sometimes it's hard to buy tickets for, in the next year. So now I'm going to really push that. It's time. Some of you already have tickets, but make sure to get that. Chloe LeBranch will be with me, and it will be a super fun time. We always have a great show together. So looking forward to that. All the links are up at the Linktree link in my bio. And that is that.
So I have a couple things I wanted to bring up. One is the more serious one that we'll get to first. I don't know. I don't have an answer, so I'm more asking you, Corinne, or the audience.
Yes.
But it's weird to go about your day. I think that people are good at compartmentalizing.
Sure.
We're all good at it, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. It makes us functional, but at the same time, it makes us kind of, I don't know. Like, does it not allow us to give enough thought and emotion and energy to these horrible things that are happening? But dude, that fucking war in Gaza getting plummeted, and these women it is really tough to not think of that all the time, especially being bombarded by, just all those images on social media. And I managed to keep myself off of social media except to post a lot of the time because I don't want to see these images because they make me so sad. And what can you do? Somebody had DM'd me. I posted something about childhood trauma, like a post of this guy, Patrick, that I follow that I really love. He has a lot of great things to say. And he had this post about relating to, going no contact from your parents because that's what he did. It's better to be an orphan than to be held hostage. Mm-hmm. And I posted that with a note saying it was about, a dysfunctional parent. But then somebody had DM'd me. And I understand where they're coming from. Usually, if someone DMs me like, "Are you fucking serious? So tone deaf?" I'm like, "What?" And I'll come at them with that same energy. But I get it because there's a lot of energy to this conflict that's happening, and in Ukraine. Where do we put it? But they were mentioning, like, you guys haven't mentioned that on the podcast, and there's
that
women.
Infuriates me because on Without a Country, guys, I have done hours,
yes,
and hours, and hours of research and content about it. So please do not come at me at that. This is just a different space. We actually I'm aggravated now because we tried to do news content on the show, and you guys, with your feedback, basically told us
talk about dicks.
Yeah, exactly. You told us in no uncertain words that you didn't want news there. I fucking created a fucking space so that I could do that. And also because the way politics are, unfortunately on a show when you're co-hosting, a lot of times, our thoughts will bleed it. Like, so Krystyna could say something and I could be held accountable, or I could say something and Krystyna could be held accountable. And I didn't want to get really deep on this show, basically because I want to just, anything I say, I want to be felt fully accountable personally for. And that's a big part of the reason that I started Without a Country. So I could talk freely and not worry about basically fucking over Krystyna's career or how she felt about I just could go on my own rants and rampages and talk about stuff for hours on end that just don't have a place on this show. Yeah. And like we talked about, feminist issues and stuff like that we'll still bring here. But like this is just like a bit, this is a lighter show. We basically we'll do molestation and rape, which is certainly not light. But that's kind of what we do
under the umbrella of
this show.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a specific theme to this show. And so to say we haven't mentioned it, no, you haven't fucking looked. Stop.
Yes. And I know that
it is not everyone's job to talk about everything all the time.
Totally. Yep. And I agree.
I'm so sick of that shit.
But when this person DM'd me and I looked at their profile and they had like a Free Palestine thing as their logo, it was made very clear to me that this ongoing annihilation of people in Gaza is affecting you in an awful way. And of course it is, because it's awful and it's traumatizing and it's terrorizing. And I feel like people need somewhere to put the anger, and then you just end up fucking yelling at somebody for not talking about it on a sex podcast.
Exactly.
It's misplaced, yes, but I know enough about traumatic situations to know that like it's okay. It's like I remember Corinne once when you said this is unrelated, but when you're like a guy like touched your ass and like when you were walking down the street and I'm like, what the fuck? And you're like, I'm glad he did it to me because I know that this guy's fucked up and I'm not going to be like upset. But if he did that to somebody who was assaulted, that could like ruin their fucking week or whatever,
Well, apparently I sent that energy into the world because I got sexually assaulted again this weekend. The same shit that happened to you. Someone taking a picture with me. Fucking, I don't want to do it to you, but like grab my, it was from the side and like I don't wear bras and it's hard to find where my tits are sometimes. So I was just like giving him the benefit of the doubt, and then quickly.
You never give a man the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I learned that. I'm so at peace and at zen that I was like that. People have been like so forward with me lately, and I was like, oh, they sense my higher vibration and they want to get a piece of it.
You're right,
and it's no, you're not. Yeah. I mean, there were in this weekend alone, there was like 4 really crazy interactions. I mean, I was out at the comedy club and the security had to literally leap on this guy. It was a thing.
Holy shit!
All the staff's writing me apology letters. Like, oh, it's not your fault. Like,
yeah. Oh, fuck that.
Yeah. Ew. I mean, the most offensive part about it was how unattractive this man was. But it's always that guy. It's a control issue.
I got groped later that night at New Year's at the olive tree, but I got kicked out.
No, I know. Mattern told me. Yeah.
He fucking, and I knew. I didn't freeze up and wonder, was that fucked up? Hours later, actually.
Well, that was a comic who did that.
Yeah, and it was in the moment, and he was drunk, and he did it twice, and then this other comic saw him do it to me, and she saw me go, and he was like, he just fucking did that to me too. I'm like, all right, this guy needs to leave. You need to be kicked out. You just got passed here. Are you fucking serious? Yeah. What the fuck is your problem? Anyway, sorry that's happening. That's fucked up.
There's some wild energy.
Yeah. There is wild energy, and when your vibration goes higher, piranhas come in, and it's weird.
You would think raising your vibration would make disgusting people go away.
Yeah, no, they just want to suck it out of you. It's awful. But that is all to say that this person that DM'd me and was upset, I got it. I wasn't my normal like, what the fuck's your problem? When I got like defensive. So I did want to bring it up and just ask the listeners, like, if there's a reputable charity. I was doing some research. It seems like UNICEF donates sanitary products to Gaza, but I'm like, how the fuck are we getting these things to them? If people in Gaza can't get out, how do we get them tampons? Like, but what's happening is it's so awful and inhumane, and it's hard to think about. But I just wanted to throw it out there of people that like run or work for reputable ways to donate funds, to donate products, whatever the fuck we can do to help, because it feels like, you want to be able to do something so that you can move on with your day with a little bit of peace of mind. I don't know. I don't even know. Well, but we all got to help each other.
Thing. It's just, I mean, this has been going on since for years, 75 years.
Yeah. And it's just,
but
it's just both sides got to stop and just stop killing. Just stop. It's just,
that's not going to happen.
It's not. I know. That's why I'm like, I wish we could just drop ecstasy over everybody and just put it in the air. And then all the people that are fighting, that are killing people, that are firing missiles and firing guns, maybe they'll just fucking mellow out and realize that that's not the way. killing people, killing anybody is not the way.
I love that you
Krystyna for
think that.
president.
Obviously, you've never met anyone from well, you have met someone from the Israeli army, but I was like,
I have. But that's why I'm saying nothing is going to work unless you give them ecstasy involuntarily without them knowing, and then they chill the fuck out, truly. Or aliens come down right before the battlefield, and then everyone drops their weapon and they go, what the fuck is that? I've been thinking about this. This is the only two things I could think of that would do an immediate ceasefire. That's it.
It's a lot of it is like it's religion, based obviously, and it's just two groups of people that just don't feel the same way about the world. Or
religion's supposed to, bring you closer to yourself and to God, and it really doesn't do that often.
No.
Nope.
But if you're interested in learning more about it, as it seems so many of you are, you can tune into the show that I do hours and hours and hours of research on. That there's literally a YouTube thing that says like Corinne, I think it's called like Corinne Fisher breaks down Israel versus Palestine on YouTube available. When I say hours of content, me talking about hours of content.
Go watch it,
that
guys.
I have researched because I do think that this is absolutely important, and I did want to be more informed about it.
Yeah, and
so it's right there for you.
I don't know anybody else who is as thorough and unbiased in their research endeavors as you are, Corinne. So it's like a very valuable pieces of information to ingest because you're getting it from a source that is truly not biased and truly does her fucking homework. My God.
Thank you, but it's been so interesting because Without a Country is an extremely hard show to clip because people, number one, you can tell how people want to be angry about politics, right?
Oh, yeah.
And every time I clip it up, people always think that I'm going against them. And I'm like, oh, it's clear from your reaction to this clip that you have no idea what side I'm actually on, how I actually feel about it. You haven't consumed the full length content. And I mean, listen, Without a Country is basically a 2-hour, if not more show, me monologue every week. But I mean, it happened with really serious things like Israel and Palestine, and it happened with not as serious things like the new Dave Chappelle's new special, The Dreamer. And I like put these big notes, like, please, before you react, like, yes, this is one piece of the conversation I have, but especially now that I'm doing the show solo, which I actually really, really like, I'm kind of almost debating myself. So I'll bring up a point and I'll bring up a counterpoint, right? Which I did with everything. I posted a clip. I posted a lot of clips, and I posted one clip about the rise in anti-Semitism. So everyone assumes, especially because being Jewish, that I am pro-Israel. I go, that's not the case. That's not the case. Yeah. But what I do think is I did see I saw a wild uptick in anti-Semitism, like violent anti-Semitism in New York City. Yeah. And that can't be.
Yeah, that's fucked.
That can't be.
That's so fucked. And the history of Jewish people being murdered and annihilated throughout time is just disgusting. I've tried to learn about it as much as I can, and it's awful.
But it's
it's awful.
And if you look at a situation, you kill a small number of people, and then you basically just do away with an entire section of people, which is what happened. It's like, there's a lot of conspiracy too that Netanyahu was in cahoots with Hamas,
At the least sat on the note.
Yeah, basically,
which is a wild,
because it's the fact that somehow the IDF didn't know that they were planning this. Like they're on top of everything. Yeah. So it's like, oh, they allowed
everywhere.
A small amount of casualties, and of course, it's not small if you were one of those people or those are one of your family members, but like truly a small amount of casualties in order to actually, go absolutely apeshit on Gaza.
Yeah, and the terror in which they killed women and children and men, like everybody, and the tactics they use are so awful. Like the New York Times article about like the rapes and stuff is just. Whew.
But there's also there's also been so much misinformation, so it's very hard, especially if your main news source is Instagram. Fake pictures, which is a big problem that we were also discussing. This is the first kind of time period that we're living in where a picture or a video doesn't make something so. And you should, I'm sure you're really familiar with that from Aliens too.
Oh my God, there's so much fake shit out there. And then AI, you're like, Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm not going to believe it until I have multiple videos of the same thing. Yeah. That's it. Of different angles from different people's cell phones. That's clear.
Yeah, they did like an interview. God, it was like with some big media head. And they asked him, what do you think is the most pressing issue for journalists and media outlets today? And he was like, it's 100% the sharing of misinformation, but he's like, I'm not talking about like Donald Trump level, in quotes, fake news. He's like, I'm talking about high level AI created fake videos and photos. And again, going into the presidential election, you really need to check your sources, see, remember when there was, for Israel and Palestine, there was like, there was something going around that they were like putting babies in ovens, like the Palestinians were putting babies in ovens or something. And I saw a lot of
babies' heads off.
The pro-Israel people. And I go, I just don't know that this is happening. But there was photos and all this stuff. So, and I just did extensive research and I was like, there's not really any proof that this is true. Because they're fake. There's not,
right.
And it's so important. And it does take a lot of time. It takes a ton of time to look into this. And then also
most people don't do it.
And it's also like, I mean, I want everyone to know about it, but like, I don't want to hear every like dipshit idiot podcast host talk about something that they learned about that month.
Right. Yes, I agree.
And if you that's not helpful. That's how misinformation spreads.
Yeah, I want to hear about people's personal experiences. If you have people that you know, family in the area, what are you hearing from them? Those are the pieces of information that are valuable to understand what's actually happening.
But there's also the one thing that I think has kind of gone away as a thing that people think about when they look for news is like the places that are considered credible, like the New York Times and the Washington Post and places like that. When they get something wrong, they have to go back and say, we got this thing wrong.
Right. The transparency in that.
So even there's
ethics to journalism.
There's ethical standards that, and that's why when people, I go, you can shit on Fox News all you want, but they actually are still abiding by these ethical standards because legally they have to, right? And again, the thing I point out again and again is what you don't have to do is you can kind of like blow a small true point out of proportion. And that is the tactic that Fox News uses a lot. So they'll keep it's something they're obsessed with, for instance, is trans people, right? So the stories that they report on like a trans woman winning a women's sports thing, like
they're just doing that to piss everybody off.
It will be true and accurate, but they're not telling you the statistics of like this is like a 1 in a million thing. Like they're not presenting all of that. So like the information is not untrue. It is just wildly proportionally skewed.
Well, and the difference is also Fox News's role is to basically take that headline and then turn it into a conversational talking point.
Right.
That's what their shows become. Whereas like
they create content. Exactly. That's how they regularly have me on.
Right. But the New York Times, there was a report where they had gotten it wrong. They called it too early and they said at the very beginning of the conflict in Gaza where they said that Israel had blown up a hospital in the Gaza Strip, and they got it wrong.
Oh, right.
They kind of their sources they just did it before they had fully checked. They put it out there, and it was wrong, but they retracted that. So when you're going to going through a credible news source, they have to print a retraction if they get that shit wrong.
Sure,
and they have to make that clear.
Which is good.
Whereas if you're just getting information off of
someone's
memes,
Instagram account,
it's just like it's information that's probably unchecked, and if it's wrong, you'll probably not hear about it.
Yeah, and then and I think that everybody should just take notice of your own reactivity and just be aware of your own desire to want to react to something or to want to get angry, because I think most of us have that. I think social media feeds into it. They pay people millions of dollars to figure out how to feed into that. But if you're more mindful of that, we can stop jumping the gun so fast and go, oh, okay, maybe this isn't a piece of information that is accurate that I'm taking in.
Well, it's just like, I mean, no offense, but like your view on Israel and Palestine, like that person DMing you, like, Krystyna Hutchinson is going to change. Mine either.
I know.
Like, it's just.
I know. It's the only thing I can think, like.
It's because you have a loss of, people feel a loss of control
for sure.
when something horrific is happening and they don't know what to do about it.
Yeah.
But it's like,
I understand
come on.
Yeah. I understand. I understand people's anger, and it's fucked. It's fucked. But I wanted to bring that up, and then I know we have to get to our guest, but real quick, I'm gonna throw it out there. This is a total right turn from what we were just talking about.
Like more the topic of the show.
Exactly.
Like what we do here for 10 years.
So we've talked with the urologist that we had on about a lot of sexual function is based on blood flow, right?
LaRouche, I love that guy.
Dr. LaRouche.
I did like that guy.
So I watched this documentary. I think it was on Hulu or Netflix. It's called what the fuck is it called? Was it called You Are What You Eat, I think?
Yeah.
It was a twin study.
Oh, I started watching that.
Yeah, it was awesome. And at the end of each twin went on a separate diet. One was vegan, one was omnivore, but they were both healthy, right? And there was a couple differences in stats over a period of 8 weeks. But one of the differences that I found interesting that relates to the show is they measured the temperature of the twins' genitals looking at porn before they embarked on these diets and after they embarked on these diets.
Oh, interesting.
And the twins that got the vegan diet were so much more aroused. There was so much more blood flow to their genital area when they were looking at porn than before they did the vegan diet. So all I'm saying is,
really, I was so constipated when I was vegan.
I've been slowly doing it. There's no way I'm going to be going 100% vegan because when I go out to eat or at somebody's house, I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be that much of a pain in the ass. But vegan food is delicious. It's really good. And then the thing I didn't know about this doc. Dude, eating beef is so bad for the environment. It's crazy.
I haven't eaten beef in years.
The amount of I haven't either, but like the amount of methane that gets put into the atmosphere from cows, burps, and shit is so like if we made it illegal to touch a cow, the ozone would like begin to actually repair itself. It's crazy. I mean, that'll never happen. But just wanted to throw it out there.
I mean, also just like how the cows are treated. Like a lot of these animals never see a drop of sunlight for their whole lives. They're literally bred to be slaughtered. I mean, if we want to talk about being humane.
Oh, and fish farms are disgusting, and the way chickens are kept it's all gross. And I think Americans love to be ignorant to it, so we can just keep eating our hot dog. But it's like, Well,
I passed by
knowledge is power.
a sausage factory on the way here, and I was just like thinking in my head, I was like, I can't believe it's 2024 and we're still like doing sausage. It just feels like we are so behind.
And we don't need protein in every one of our meals.
I kind of like a sausage here and there. But
I disagree with that. I think you do need protein in all your meals, but
we don't need animal protein.
No. Sure. It could be 100% plant protein, but we need a lot of protein though, especially women.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's get to it. Did you want to promote the DC show?
I already did.
Oh, you did? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Our guest today, I'm very excited to talk to her. She is very well-versed at a topic that I have unfortunate experience with, and I don't really get to talk to people about it much because I don't know what the fuck to say, and I don't have as much knowledge as this woman. She is a New York City-based actor, comedian, and content creator doing deep dives into the issue of sperm donorship. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Laura High.